Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug him. Long was 1975.
This is Agent X Part 2 on Sinclair ZX Spectrum, released by Mastertronic in 1987, actually developed by those guys there, Software Creations, and it was released on the Commodore and the Amstrad, and it was to capture in on the success of the first game, which I played yesterday, or depending upon when I released this video. And yeah, it's got excellent box art, as well as the first game by, I believe, the same artist, but pretty much that's where we're gonna leave it. So, the story is in this game that the Mad Professor, that bloke there, is back, and he's really, you know, pissed off with you, Agent X, for thwarting his plan to brainwash the president. So he's got a moon base now, and he's got a new plan where he's going to bankrupt the economy by inventing a zit ray that's going to give everyone a massive, you know, breakout of spots, and everyone has to buy spot cream or whatever. I was going to say creosote. That's for your fences in case it rains. Yeah, what was the? I can't remember. You know, the spot stuff. So everyone buys that, and it bankrupts the economy. Once again, it's a multi-loader. It's divided into 3 games, 3 different types of games. The first one is a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. The second one is a multi-screen platform game, I guess, and the third one is an Arkanoid rip-off. Now, these are hat tap files, so basically I could just load them up straight away and they will work, but I don't know if you could do that the first time around. I think you had a sort of progression thing like you did in the first game. Had this back in the day. Well, I couldn't get off level 1, so that's why I can't tell you how it multi-loaded. I could not get off level 1. I thought it was absolute pants back then, and pretty much most of the magazines agreed with me, because the first game had, if you saw my video, a certain charm. This just reeks of cash-in. Right, let's get into it. I'm going to play this on keys, going to press space, then it's just going to be a blank screen with music, but it's 48k music, so I'm going to skip it because it's like, it's not that polished, even for a budget $1.99 game. Anyway, I've waffled too much, let's go. So that goes down, and then you get this 48k beeper screen, and it just sits there. Yeah, man, that's it. And it does this on each of the loads. Now, that's really, really disorientating. So we go with 1, and it's kind of, you know, hurry up, skip to the end. I've just played all 3 types of this, all 3 of these individual games to see what they're like, and the first one is balls hard and his pants, as I remember, and the other 2 were first timers for me. But since I played the original game, I thought it only fair that I do this. Goes back to that screen again, then we go to this one, then we press 5. That's just not a good screen, and then here we go. Now it's a side-scrolling shooter where I guess we're over the surface of the moon. I'm in a spacesuit. Now it seems to have 128k music. Yeah, now I'm in a spacesuit, but I've still got my Agent X hat on. I say that, but I didn't even have a hat in the first one. Oh, everything kills you. Everything. Now, you can't fire particularly quick. I tell you what, considering this is a moon base, that speeds it up. Considering this is a moon base, he's done a lot of work since he's got up here, hasn't he? Look at all that. Why don't we just break into the train and use that as cover? So all these dots, there's no sound effects. It's just dodgy music. Oh, look! Oh, I don't remember powering up this much as a kid. I guess I'm better than I was as a kid. I shouldn't have said out loud, I'm now going to die. Look at this! So that's alright. Oh shit, apart from the fact that you can't avoid enemies. And my life is going down quicker than a hooker's pants at prom night. And every time you get hit, it appears to remove your weapon power-ups. I guess it wouldn't have been as bad if they made it a little bit more forgiving, made you steal your weapons, basically made it Gradius, but more forgiving. But didn't fill the screen so much that you can't avoid them. And also, look at me getting down low there, so I can try and avoid them, but if I go any lower, I'll hit the surface of the moon, How do you get planning permission for the moon? Probably get it from NASA, don't you? Oh, so there you go. You've died. Ha ha. Yeah, this game's rubbish. Ha ha. Oh look, I just noticed it says Agent X in the middle, and you got lemon on the left and drop. So what? Lemon drops, what they drop, and that's our power-ups. Skip to the end. Right, we'll have another pop at that before we jump into the next stage, which I got even less of an idea how to play. Well, I know how to play this one. I'm just rubbish at it. And like I said, too cramped to avoid stuff. I like the fact that they've gone with variety again, but it's poor. I mean, the first game, you know, wasn't like a masterpiece of graphics or anything like that, or game design, but you felt like you had a chance. I don't know. Just trying to catch. Look, see, it's hit or miss whether as you know how you get your power-ups. Ah, you missed me. I guess it's where you know you lined on the screen. Obviously, the more power-ups, lemon drops, whatever you get, makes it easier. It's just too bloody difficult to avoid shit. And I've lost my power-up again. Oh, this is poor show, Mastertronic, compared to the first game. Poor show indeed. Nice shame though, because nice graphics. Just if it was zoomed out a bit, it probably wouldn't frustrate eyes so. Oi, 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 oi. No, you don't. I want that streamy laser again, like Gradius. That's what it's called, streamy laser, didn't you know? That one. It's still actually quite ineffective. That music's... And why can't we have sound effects at the same time? Why won't you die? Point to the quote. See, just taking my power-ups again. Right. Oh. And other noisy grunt effects to that effect. Right, you have died. Ha ha. Right, so let's jump into stage 2. So it starts off exactly the same way with exactly the same screen. So to be fair, whether you're finding your position on a tape or finding your position on the tape or not to load it, you possibly wouldn't even know for which one you're going for. It does the same thing with the screen, and then it goes to 48K, I guess, beeper music, and it's the same beeper. We have to... I'm guessing you could have just loaded each of these in, which then would make their sort of having them as stages kind of obsolete, because the third stage is kind of a showdown stage, but because you have to define the keys every time. I don't know, if you played this back in the day, by all means, let me know. Now, I had a quick go on this, which is the first time I've ever played this stage, and I didn't have a clue what I got to do. You've got to find codes and then input them into a computer screen, and if you just... It's a platform... Look, there I am. Press fire. Got sound effects and music. Oh. I don't know. What's a code? Are you a code? I don't know. You just press down. Who's this? He's my nemesis. That was a code. But where do I put it? Mission Impossible, or Impossible Mission I should say, or whatever one it is. It isn't. There we go. I can go back up. That looks like a computer. It does. It tells my energy top left, but it doesn't tell me. This just feels of hashed together. It's important that the moon has clocks, so they can go, look everyone, look kids, you get a second game, or a second stage. Well, I would say games. I'm pretty sure you could just load them in. Look, that's... I don't know. Are these repeating yet? It's just... like I said, I got no idea. They're bad guys spawning? Oh, what's that on the wall? I've got no idea if I'm going to new screens or it's just repeating because it all looks the bloody same to me. There you go. And yeah, and what's actually going on? Let's have another go at that. Right, skip to the end. But yeah, so we're supposed to get codes. I have got one once. I think I got one in that gameplay, but I don't actually know. I'm just going down. See if we start recognising it again. So what's a code? So what is it? Are these him? Who's the dude with the baseball hat? Cap. That was a code. So do I need more? Less? He's got an array of rockets. I thought he was making a zip ray and not rockets. God, this mad professor, or prop if you will. He's just all over the shop. I don't know, was that... See, it doesn't give you any indication that you're doing anything. This is weak. Oh, I'm at the bottom. I cannot go any further down, is what she said. Music stopped, so that must be the penultimate screen where we put in the codes. I don't know. It's all gone to tits. That's what it's done. It's all gone to tits. I'm wondering if I even ever tried to load these separately as a kid. I think I may have just been so disappointed with wasting my pocket money on the first game that I just thought, bollocks, all the magazines are right, so that's the top screen. I'm not gonna lie, I got no Scooby whatsoever what we're doing, or who that bloke, he's supposed to give me, oh no, is he? Did he shoot something, and I'm pretty sure that's when it says a screen message, but I hit fire and I lose it. There we go, that's it. That was a code. I think. I don't know. There we go. There you go. Right, let's jump into the third and final stage. I say stage, let's be honest, at this point I think it's safe to say third and final game. By all means though, let me know if I'm wrong. So here we go with Agent X2, the third level. Or let's be honest, at this point, as I keep saying, it's the third game. And there's that picture of him with two. I can't help but feel when they designed that, they clearly had another finger in mind. So once again, they've, as I've mentioned previously, ripped off or copied another type of game, and it's Arkanoid. It goes straight to the blank screen and gives you not very good music. Maybe you should just, I don't know, put the story up there or something. It feels very kind of poorly put together. I know lots of people are probably going to say, it's a £2 game, Dave, what do you expect? It's just the charm of the original and how much better the games were is why this one kind of disappoints. Anyway, as I said, it's an Arkanoid clone with one big inherent flaw. Big inherent flaw. Right, so that's the Mad Professor in the middle at the top of the screen there. If you look, the ball can't go out, but if it hits the bottom of the screen, that white piping, it will take my health down, which is the bottom right hand corner of the screen. If you look at the U at the top, underneath the Professor, there are gaps either side, so I guess it's a case of blast all the balls, and then we got 128k music now. So why is there 48k beeper music? Probably because it was on the base, it was, you know, on the base, well, 48k version. We'll talk in a minute. Right, so yeah, blast all the balls out. You can find a sweet spot, but that's his bat. He's controlling that. I suspect it's just moving left or right really fast. So it's a really, really poor Arkanoid ripoff. Why is it poor? Because of his bat, but also the screen. The screen, it's too small for you to work out, predict the trajectory of your ball. Now, is this deliberate to pad out the length of the game? I don't know. I don't think so. I think this whole thing was probably banged out incredibly quickly to capitalise on the success of the first game, which I always thought was 87 as well. And so, yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound incredibly critical or harsh, because I can't program games, you know, especially back then. But it says the first one I have such a soft spot for, as do a lot of people, and so the fact that this was just like, let's make a sequel, we'll make it 3 parts again, or 3 levels, that really don't feel like they actually lead into each other in any way whatsoever, and we're just rip-off. Apologies for the traffic noise. Apparently everyone who lives by me seems to think it's really cool to have a tits loud motorbike and remove the silencer from the exhaust. Anyway, so they just thought, bollocks to it, we'll just copy 3 of them popular games that kids like, such as Gradius or R-Type, some platform game that makes no sense whatsoever, and this, Arkanoid. Again, yeah, I don't know. But as I always say, if you have played this, here we go, well, made a hash of that, didn't you? The whole world's gone to pot. Don't you mean the whole world's gone to spots? Or zits. But yeah, if you did play this back in the day, answer the question that whether or not you had to beat each one to be able to load the next one, you know, so it was a true multi-loaded level game like the first game, or it just let you load them anyway, because that would be why I never played the other two, because I'd probably just picked the first level and was so utterly disappointed with it. Like the magazine said, I never bothered to try to load the other 2. Anyway, there you go, Agent X2 on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. It's not very good, especially when you consider the pedigree, budget game-wise, of the original. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.